We just got a ton of crazy official news about the future seasons of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Daredevil Born Again, X-Men 97, and even a little bit of a teaser from the Russo brothers themselves about what characters might appear in Avengers Doomsday. There's so much to get into. We're going to start off with Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. There is a ton of info about Season 2 and beyond. First of all, we know that Season 2 is already planning to release next year in 2026. Brad Winderbaum, who is an exec at Marvel Studios, he covers a lot of the TV stuff, came out and said that we'll have to wait a little bit more than a year for Season 2, but then after that it should come out on an annual cadence, so maybe it will be like summer of 2026. But yearly seasons are huge, especially since Jeff Trammell, he's the main producer and writer for the show, says he originally pitched 4 seasons of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man to Marvel. Now that's evolved to however long they want to do it. I'm ready, so we might get like 6 or 7 seasons of this thing. Speaking of Season 2, they also revealed an early look at the early sketches of Gwen Stacy and her being Spider-Gwen in the show. A lot of people are mad about this, saying that, oh my god, ever since Spider-Verse we can't escape Spider-Gwen instead of just having a regular Gwen Stacy. I personally don't have an issue with this for a couple reasons. First of all, outside of Spider-Verse, when it comes to movies and TV shows, we really haven't seen Spider-Gwen at all. Plus, it doesn't mean this is going to be a multiversal story. We already know Norman is developing more spiders to create more Spider-Man. It could happen like that. The head writer of the show also came out and said that he wasn't allowed to use the Fantastic Four or Big Wheel in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. This was originally pitched to be an MCU origin story, so maybe that's why he couldn't use them though, and maybe we will see them in future seasons of the show, since obviously the head writer wants to include them. Before I continue, I'd really appreciate if you took 1 second to hit that like button on the video, and if you're not subbed already, what are you doing? Hit that sub button too. As of right now, that's all we know about the future seasons of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, but luckily we do have some brief info about X-Men 97 Season 2, so let's get into this now. The first bit is just a release date. We do have official confirmation now that X-Men 97 Season 2 will release in 2026, so yeah, this did release last year in 2024, meaning we will be skipping 2025, so pretty much a 2-year production cycle for this show, but obviously the animation is way higher quality than Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, so it does make sense. Again, Brad Winderbaum came out and talked about this, and he said, we are still working on X-Men 97 Season 2. It's coming together amazingly, and the scripts for Season 3 are insane. That is certainly scratching the X-Men itch for me on television, which might seem like a nothing comment, but I feel like the last thing is kind of important, because there were rumors literally a week before this interview came out of people saying that, hey, Marvel Studios might be developing their new X-Men in the MCU after Secret Wars as a TV show instead of movies. I feel like him slyly saying that this is scratching his itch for X-Men on television is confirming no, it's going to be X-Men movies, not a TV show when they do it in live action. We haven't even got Daredevil Born Again Season 1 yet, and we already have a ton of info about Season 2, which is probably because it was originally supposed to be one longer season that was 18 episodes that just got cut in half pretty much. Because Season 2 has been confirmed it's going to be 8 episodes versus the 9 episodes we're getting for Season 1, but all the cast are talking about, like, yeah, this is kind of one season just broken up because it was just a big project to film. I think the main reason this happened is because if you remember, they actually were a decent way through filming Season 1, and they completely scrapped that, fired all the people working on it, pretty much all the writers and stuff, and like, we need to start this thing over. So they probably wanted to still release a part of this season, and they said, hey, we'll do half and half, release one in 2025, one in 2026. Kristen Ritter, who is obviously Jessica Jones in the Netflix series and in The Defenders, has just shared a new Instagram story that she is in NYC, and Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is beginning filming in New York City tomorrow, so a lot of people are saying she's probably going to be back and making an appearance in Born Again. We already know the Punishers in the first half of the season. I guess this one's kind of a spoiler for Season 1 that hasn't even come out yet, because Deborah Ann Wolf has come out and confirmed that Karen Page will return in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. I say it's kind of a spoiler because a lot of people were theorizing that, hey, maybe Foggy or her are going to get killed off, and she's pretty much saying, no, I'm going to make it at least through the first 9 episodes. She said, the scripts are amazing. I am deeply honored to be a part of the storyline that Dario has written, and I am impressed and thrilled. Brad Winderbaum went on to give us more gems in his interview, saying that his dream storyline for Daredevil Born Again Season 3 and beyond, which alludes to us getting like at least 4 or 5 seasons of the show eventually, would include the Hand and the Assassin's Guild. That big global conspiracy stuff, I feel like there might be stuff to do there. While this isn't really Daredevil Season 2 related, it is very adjacent since we know John Bernthal is returning in Season 1 of Daredevil Born Again. Well, Marvel is also working on a special with him. We don't know if this is going to be like maybe 3 or 4 episodes, or maybe just like a 90-minute long just special that's not quite a full-length movie, just something released on Disney+. Before I get to the Avengers Doomsday stuff, I just gotta say it's so great how back Marvel Television is. We got Daredevil Born Again and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on yearly new seasons. X-Men 97 is a 2-year gap in between seasons, but who knows, maybe they'll do Season 2 and 3 back-to-back, get that on a yearly schedule too. But let's get to some of the stuff that the Russo brothers and other Marvel actors have been saying about Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars so far. The Russo brothers came out and said that I think these movies are going to surprise people. We found a way into the story that's very exciting to us, but we think very radical, and I think it's going to challenge audiences, which is just a nothing comment. When asked about what characters might show up, and the interviewer was saying, like, oh, X-Men, who's going to be in this? They just said, who knows? I still don't know. Anybody in the Marvel bag could show up in this movie, referring to Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. Which I feel like we all kind of knew at this point after seeing like the Sony Spider-Man show up in Spider-Man No Way Home and all the old Fox Marvel characters showing up as cameos in Deadpool and Wolverine. It seems like everybody that's been in any canon is now able to come back in this film. Chris Pratt got asked about being Star-Lord a couple times. One was on Jimmy Kimmel Live, and it just said there was a promise that the legendary Star-Lord would return. We will make good on that promise, but he went on to play very coy about actually being in Doomsday or if it's just going to be somewhere down the line, because obviously you can't really say. But he was on a red carpet the other day. I can't find the clip again, but it was so funny because some reporter was asking him, oh, are you going to be in the next Avengers film? And his publicist just came over and pretty much turned Chris Pratt away. It was like, no, you're not answering this question, which I feel like is such an obvious way to just say, yeah, he's in the movie. Why wouldn't you let him just lie and say no to the interviewer? We got another comment from Brad Winterbaum about the potential of a reboot after Avengers Secret Wars. He said, it's a very difficult thing to do to a living, breathing, fictional universe to just start from scratch because of all the fan investment and love for the stories that have come so far. This is pretty much confirmation we're not going to be getting a full-on reboot. Maybe they'll do like a soft reboot where we're just consolidating things to one main MCU timeline, one universe, not having the multiverse and stuff anymore. But this isn't surprising me. They're not going to throw away all the love people have for these versions of the character and get like a new Spider-Man, new all these different characters. It's just not going to happen. If you want to hear the update about Moon Knight Season 2 and where he will show up next in the MCU, tap the video above my head right now.